السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I wish you Jumu'ah Mubarak, and inshallah Allah grant you all khair and barakah and success in this Mubarak Jumu'ah day, inshallah. Our topic today, inshallah, is the historical conflict, the historical Palestinian-Israelis conflict. Well, this is very important to know the history, of the conflict. Like this, we can answer all the questions that are rising after 7th October. The issue of by saying that Hamas, the Islamic movement of Palestine, he attacked the Israelis. In fact, the conflict didn't start the 7th of October, but 7th of October is another phase of the conflict. That's why we don't say that the war is ongoing from 1948, as it is written on the slides. The conflict is from 1948 and is ongoing till the till Allah knows, till the liberation. He didn't start at 7 October. Yes. We want to, yes, this is the yes. The Zionist movement to establish a separate Jewish state in Palestine was born in the end of the 19th century. The 19th century, yes. By the way, this is also the ancient times to the end of the war. One is 1250 before Jesus Christ. The Israelis, they conquered the Canaan. That is the King David, Solomon. That is before 900, before Jesus, the birth of Jesus Christ. And the Jews were driven out by the Assyrians, conquered by the Persian. And after that, yes, the succession of the Persian, Greek, and the Egyptian, the Syrians, the Roman, the Byzantines, the Palestine incorporated into Ottoman Empire in 1516. Yes. Now the Zionism, the movement to establish a separate Jewish state in the beginning of this, yes, the Middle East in 1917. Can you see where is here Israel? Where is Israel? It's not existing. Yes, as you see, all this, it is the British colony, right, Britannic, and this is French, as you see, and the green, that time in 1917, is the Ottomans. The Ottomans. Yes. From 1914 Up to that time, by the way, the Ottomans, the collapse of the Ottomans is the 1924. Then the British, they took over. Yes. Peacock agreement. Well, this is size Peacock. Sorry, let me go back. Yes, Sykes-Picot Agreement or Declaration. Sykes-Picot, Prime Minister of France, as well in the Britain, they divided. Can you see those boundaries? They are made by them. They're made by them. Yes. The blue zone, direct French control. This direct French control. The red zone is direct British control, as well. The blue also, the zone French control, and the green Haifa, as you see, this is international zone. Yes. The next slide is, sorry to, the historical background of the conflict. Yes. Right. This paper aimed to provide a brief historical background on the war currently raging in the occupied territory, especially at the West Bank between Palestine and Israel. Yes, from the history of Palestine conflict, it's discussed in 4 periods. The first one is the ancient time, then the British mandate of Palestine is from 1917 until 1948, and the establishment of the State of Israel from 1948 till 1982, and the peace talk of and the first Intifada. Yes, the ancient time, that is the third before Jesus Christ, and we spoke about it. It started 1200 before Jesus Christ. The Israel conquered the Canaan. The Canaan are the Arabs. Huh? The Canaan are the Arabs. Then after that, can the people, just like the Israelis, they claim this is their land? Can the Canaan also they claim this is their land because they were conquered by the Israelis? Then also after 500 before Jesus Christ, the Jews, they were driven by Assyrians, and also 500 by the Persians, and the 333 by the Egyptians, as well the 63 before Jesus, the Arab lords from the Damascus, and as well the rule of the Iraq, the Crusaders. The Crusaders is 1900 till 1187. Palestine incorporated into the Ottomans in 1516 till 1917. Yes. 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 As you see, we discussed this. We showed the British, and until 1917, there is no Israel. No Israel. Not existing on the map. Yes. Yes. And we said, we spoke about Sykes-Picot agreement. This is between the French and the British. Yes, yeah. The British mandate, 1917 till 48. The Balfour Declaration in 1917 pledged Britain's support for the establishment in Palestine of the national home for Jewish people, and they paid lip service to safeguarding the civil and the political rights of the non-Jewish communities in Palestine. Unfortunately, with the lip service that you will safeguard the civil and the political rights for the non-Jewish, but it never happened. Then successive waves of migrations, increasing Jewish population in Palestine from less than 6% in 903 to 31% in 1945. From less than 6% in 1903 means the beginning of this century, no Israel, and existence of Jewish people, they were a minimal level. Yes. Right. The UN resolution 181 paves way to establishment of the Israel in Palestine. This is in 29 November. The UN resolution partitioning Palestine into Jewish state, 56% of Palestine, and Palestinian state, 43%, rejected by the Palestinians and the Arabs. Can you imagine? Jewish state is 56.5 of Palestine, it would be Jewish state. And the Palestinian state is 40, is almost half. This is in 1947, and it is rejected by the Palestinians and the Arab states. In the 14 May 1948, the state of Israel proclaimed in Tel Aviv at 4 p.m. recognized by U.S. President Truman. On the 15 May 48, the British mandate ends and declaration of the state of Israel come into effect. Yes. Well, UN partitioning plan for Palestine. Can you see the Arabs? The Arabs in this orange color, and the Jewish state, Jerusalem International City. This is Jerusalem International City. The Arab state, Jewish state in green color. Yes. The Arab-Israeli War. In 1949, the first Arab-Israeli War. Then in 1956, Suez campaign, that is October 29, 56. Then the 1967, the so-called 6 days war in June, from the 5th till from the 5th June till 10th. Israelis occupy Sinai, that is Egypt Peninsula, the Golan Heights is in Syria, and Gaza Strip, as well the West Bank. And in 1973, October War, Yom al-Khibur. Then after that, in 1982, the Israelis' invasion of Lebanon. Yes. As you see here, the arm line that is Jordanian controlled, as you see here, the West Bank, Egyptian control. Yes. We'll take a break and we'll be back shortly.
أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا وقل جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless us in this day of Jum'ah, inshallah, all the khair and the barakah. We carry on with our Jum'ah program about the history of the conflict of Palestine. It is extremely important to understand the historical conflict. You can answer all the questions through the land occupied by Israel in 1967. Can you see the land occupied by Israel in 1967? This is the Golan Heights, that is in Syria, West Bank, Jerusalem, Hebron, as well Gaza Strip. The rest is a Palestinian. Rest is a Palestinian. Yes. Then after that, in 1967, that is a war between the Arabs as well, or the Arab regimes and the Israeli Zionist state. In June 5 to 10, it's called the Six-Day War, where they occupied or they took the Sinai Desert, the attacks on the Israeli. Yes. Then after that, yes, yes. In October, also the war of October 1970 war, يوم خيبور أو خيبور. Yes, that is 1973. Liberation of the Soviet Syria as well. Yes. Then after that, the peace talk and an intifada. The peace talk and an intifada. In 1978, Camp David Accord between the Israelis and Egypt. Israelis turns over Sinai to Egypt in exchange of recognition of the right to exist. In 78. And in 1987, the outbreak of the first Intifada uprising in December 1987, they triggered by the death of the Palestinian youth run over by the Israelis lorry military personnel carrier. And in 1988, Yasser Arafat condemnation of the terrorism and the recognition of the state of Israel in December 1988. Yes. In 1992, the secret Israeli-Palestinian talk in Oslo, in Norway, right. And in 1993, declaration of the principles signed by Yasser Arafat, the ex-president of PLO, with Israeli Rabin, and he set up the Palestinian Authority by the failed to resolve the issue of return the Palestinian refugee, the status of the Jerusalem, and the Israeli settlement, and the final Palestinian-Israeli borders. In 1994, Arafat returned to Gaza Strip and the West Bank to the head of Palestinian Authority. Yes. However, the Israelis, while full authority and control by the frequently sealing of the Palestinian, can you see? That is how they dominated, and this is the West Bank and this is the Gaza Strip. And it's like they put them in jails. Frequently sealing off the Palestinian governed areas from the rest of occupied territory and from Israel. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. In July 2000, Camp David summit called by US President Bill Clinton after the 2 weeks of intensive negotiation with Arafat and Barak and the talks and without deal. Barak resigned shortly after and Ariel Sharon elected as a prime minister. And on 27 September 2002, Intifada erupted. the Intifada erupted. Intifada is uprising. Yes. Then, since 2002, the additional by Joe Norman, Hamas win the election in Gaza. Hamas fired missiles into Israel. Okay. The Hamas is the Islamic movement in Palestine, or the freedom fighter with that's part of the Muslim Brotherhood Islamic movement in Egypt. And 2009, Israel's bomb invaded Gaza. Right. And now we are in 2023. Yes. Yes. Dear viewers, if someone take your land or it takes your home, then after that, it start giving you one room from your home. Then after that, it gives you a half room. Are you going to accept that? Are you going to accept to be occupied by a stranger, of foreign forces? Then, from the history, Israelis, they are an occupation forces. They are inland country in the Middle East. There will be no peace in the Middle East as long the Israelis, they are occupying Palestine. We'll go for another break and we end with the talk.
حياتي قرآن. رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن. رحمن رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن اشرح صدري قرآن املأ قلبي قرآن واسق حياتي قرآن. لله لله يهفو آملي لله ولحفظ كتاب الله من أول بسم الله للختم وللرضوان. رحمن يا رحمن بمجيني يا رحمن أصبحي ما يدوشو نبني ما يوسفي نوتي القرآن. رحمن يا رحمن الحكم يا تنزيل لمحمد عن جبريل، من رب العرش دليل للعالم والإنسان. تكبير تكبير للحافظ وهو صغير، والضاء العين قرير، يحمل فجرا لينير بتلاوته الأكوان. رحمن يا رحمن بمدينة يا رحمن، أصبحي ما يدوشو نبني ما يوسيتي ناوجي
رحمن يا رحمن ساعدني يا رحمن، اشرح صدري قرآن، املأ قلبي قرآن، واسق حياتي قرآن.
الله الله اللهم اجمعنا بكتابك وانفعنا، واجعله لنا حصنا وهدنا أبدا وأمان.